The Mosley Show is with you, as always. I've been up and down the roads late last night. I've got a beloved family member in the hospital right now, so I have gone back to working on very little sleep. But I was not gonna leave you guys hanging on this special day. And
how is your grandmother doing?
She is a fighter, and so she's 102, and she has not gone quietly, as they say. And I would say that when you're born in 1923, your body's probably not built to go this long. I don't think any of our bodies are. So it's
you know what though?
Yeah.
If you were born in 1923, that means before you were 10 years old, you were living through the Great Depression. You have that built into your DNA.
Yeah. That's a tough group, and of course her age would have been around the group that was going off to fight in World War II, and in fact, my grandfather did. But anyway, my grandfather passed away, had a great long life till he was 86. And I remember thinking, man, that's really a great run. And then I thought, like a lot of times, like, well, the wife sometimes, after the husband dies, and if you're elderly, that maybe happens soon after, she's gone another 22 years or something like that. So anyway, it's
she's lived an entire generation like past him.
Yes. So it's wild, but spent some sweet time with her last night, and I may have been sneaking her. I think there's some things maybe she's not supposed to have, and perhaps I was getting a hold of some ice cream and that type of thing, because I think once you get to this age, you should really be able to kind of to do what you want. Although always those funny stories, Kev, where it's like somebody's 106. How'd you do it? They're like, I had liquor, had a drink every day or something. It's just like, oh my gosh. She did not. She was the first batch. She was the First Baptist McKinney church secretary. I used to call them church secretaries. I guess now church admin. For 25 years. And then she probably retired from that like 40 years ago, but she had a good run there, 25 years. So anyway, she is hanging in there, and we have had a great time being with her through some tough times here in recent days. Kev, did you have something to share like on this special day? Did you hinted at something, so I want to give you the platform. Absolutely. If there's anything you'd like to share. What's going on with you?
There's brand new breaking news, and that is North Carolina has finally decided on their head coach replacement for Hubie Lewis not Hubert Davis.
Yeah.
They brought back one of their own. It's not Kenny Smith. They found somebody that needed some extra time and extra things to do, and he's really good at basketball. I don't know if you knew that, but Michael Jordan, new coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. Whoa. I know, right? I
mean, we probably should have teased this harder if we were going to open the show with something massive like this.
It just happened.
I'd like to know your sources on this. You're not always breaking your own news. A lot of times you're reporting news on here, so this would be probably the biggest scoop of your career. So
right. Well done. I did work in racing, and so he has a racing connection now, and so I think it was somebody who knows somebody who's aunt of Denny Hamlin.
Aren't you an Indy 500 guy?
Yes, but I worked. Yeah. I shot video for a race team that was co-owned by Richard Petty, so I have some connections. But this is just April Fool's. So
I smell a rat. Yeah. And Kev, since we started there, now I'm going to get to all this Cowboys because Jerry did a lot of talking yesterday, and we're going to react to it both in the 1 o'clock and in the 2 o'clock hour. We also, Kev, have the Crown. Heavy is the head. The Crown is tonight. We're going to gather around Fox Sports 1, and it's 9:30 tonight. I love when I'm in the home studio, and then just right when the show starts, somebody just decides to get some huge blower. They're cutting down a tree out here. It's probably not bothering our audience, but it's bugging the you-know-what out of me. The Crown. I mean, there's only one team from Texas still playing basketball, and Kev, which one it is. Now, I've been in touch all day.
UT women's basketball.
Here we go. Hold on here. No, I'm sorry. I was talking on the men's side.
Men's basketball. Just men's basketball.
Men's basketball. Only the Baylor Bears.
Right.
Only the Baylor Bears. Now, yesterday, Fran Fraschilla, who was at the NIT, he's calling the NIT. Kev, you'll have to check on this. Is this the NIT championship game? Is this the Final Four of the NIT? What is happening tonight with the NIT? I can't say that I know for sure. But yesterday, he said he would cut away for a few minutes to do our show. Not hearing from Fran right now. Let's give him a chance. In fact, Kev, we're going to be really proactive.
Semifinals are tomorrow night.
Or what are they doing tonight?
There are no NIT games tonight.
They must have the practices, and then they do it tomorrow. Okay. Well, he can focus on, the Crown tonight. All right. It did not, when I talked to him, it did not sound like he was really hitting the Crown very hard. Now, where is that? Kevin, do you still have his email? I was going to have you send our link to him. But I
can do that.
Through. Do you still have it, do you think?
Oh, sure.
Time, you
I mean, nothing is ever lost on the internet.
I know, but you need to tell me for sure because I think I can find it on here. But, all right. Well, if you have it, go ahead and send him an invite. We may try to work him in as he's monitoring NIT practices today. All right. Now, Kev, before you do that, though, since I kind of need you for some of what we're about to do, do we want to run through some of these that you started with your own your own April Fools? Could we run through some of the April Fools jokes today? I don't remember. When did this become? This has now become a huge thing at the collegiate level, professional teams. I think colleges started this about a decade ago, but like this, to me, this is peak April Fools. Like, I don't know that I've noticed people going like, it's almost like there's a bunch of, the Aggies got involved earlier today. So Kevin, I sent you several and you may have some of your own. Okay. Let's run these.
Right. This overarching, not sports related. You open up a Krispy Kreme, you got crispy veggies instead.
Now, do you think there's a Krispy Kreme that actually did this somewhere? I guess so. I guess it had to happen because some of these feel like really trumped up. Like people are just kind of making up their own, you know what I mean? Like they're not the real deal. But in this case, and I saw Shipley's Donuts try a similar thing. But because I would not put it past Krispy Kreme, to kind of use this across the board for some marketing opportunities. But kind of funny. Yeah. You open up your Krispy Kreme order and you see April Fools, and you have cucumbers, carrots. What else is in there? Some celery, maybe some tomatoes back there.
Grape tomatoes, yep.
Some broccoli. Is that broccoli back on the back right?
Yep. A couple broccolis.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. What else do we have?
Well, you mentioned A&M. They are building not just a third deck, but let's go for a fourth, right?
Project Fourth Deck. Now, I have to say, knowing
It's hard to get a
Aggies,
good perspective here. Here's a better one here.
knowing how the Aggies are and how the Aggies and the Horns are always in an arms race and seeing who can put the most people in their stadium, I have to admit, at first glance, when I saw fourth deck, I think it was before it kicked in like what today was.
Yeah.
I kind of went for this one. I kind of thought, yeah, wow. And I may have said that to my Aggie daughter, and then it hit me. Wait, what is today? Project Fourth Deck. Kind of funny. Not bad. And I think a good sign of I think you got to get started early on the April Fools.
Yeah.
Like they started like, I think this went out at like 6:30 this morning. I think that's a good April Fool's joke.
Right.
You want to catch the
design
crowd.
of this. The design of this took a little bit of time. So they've been working on this for, at least a 24-hour period of putting it together.
You and Scotty Swingler both have kind of a graphics background. Now, Scotty really was into graphics. And I think you kind of know how to do that stuff too. So you're telling me you couldn't just do this like in 10 minutes. This would be something you needed to work with a little bit.
Especially if it's going to come out, looking like it's believable.
I've been told that the A&M animation program, by the way, is one of the best in the country. And I think Texas has one too, but and I'm not saying they got involved in this, but the animation program, Texas A&M, is supposed to be great. And I don't know if that would be through the engineering. I don't exactly know the animation, what that would fall under.
It's usually like graphic graphics or graphic design, new media.
There you go.
Which is my degree. Yeah.
I think A&M is like really, really good at this. All right. What else do we have as we work through our April Fool's joke?
Yes. Kentucky decided to follow in the ways of Boise State and go with a blue field.
Now, I like this. I like this because it's known as the Bluegrass State.
Right.
And to me, I like a good April Fool's joke that actually is rooted in something a little bit, right? So, but I love the top part of this.
Right. This is Boise State actually.
Up there is Boise State's their social media coming in with a cease and desist. And they didn't fall for it. They're just being funny. But Boise State was very busy today shooting things down and threatening, copyright infringement. What did I send you that one that Utah State did? Oh, here we go. Wait, is that who it is?
Yep.
Who did this one?
That's Utah State. Yep.
They said
since they're joining the Pac-12, so they decided, you know what? We're going with a new field.
And again, Boise State came back and said, you can't do this and all that kind of stuff. Oh, man, a guest could be calling right now. I wish I could take this one. I'm going to tell him I'm live on the air. That was not Fran. That was Gary Patterson, the defensive coordinator at USC. I'm going to tell him live on the air. I've been trying to, get him on. He's just been, and I finally joked with him. I'm like, okay, I had forgotten what it was like when you were a coach, like how hard it was to communicate with you. And that, for some reason, got him to react. Unfortunately. Now, I wish I was smart enough. Now, what would really been sweet is to somehow be able to answer the phone and get him connected.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what he says. He's texting me now. There we go. He's telling me, okay. Okay. He's making me feel bad by telling me how he's working till, crazy hours. And if I just knew his schedule, I wouldn't be giving him a hard time. Right. All of that. I mean, sometimes you give me a hard time, Kevin, about things, but that's it's good. It's good to hear from big name guests, even if they're not coming on, even if they're just checking in. But I do wish I could do that. Like I had the ability to take the call and then make some connections. And even if we didn't have him on deal, just go, hey, Gary, you're on live now. And I think I probably have the equipment within my grasp to almost pull something like that on, because I could put the phone on speaker, get the speaker to the mic.
Yep.
I think it's possible that I could pull something off like that. I just think it'd be kind of hokey, and I don't really like doing that to people. You know, like, hey, you're live on the air.
But of all days, today would be the day.
On April Fools.
Yeah.
All right. What other April Fools do we have?
Well,
do we have any others?
Yeah. This baseball stadium is this where the Rangers play?
Globe Life. Yeah.
Yeah. They decided that, you know what? Why have a roof? We're gonna go back to the old days.
Roof open all season. Now this is funny because, of course, they did the roof so that finally, on those 105-degree days, we could sit in there in the AC and watch some baseball and have a great time. So then they said they're going to go roof open all. By the way, have you noticed the Rangers are off to an unbelievable start?
I saw that. Like the other day, I looked number 1, number 2 in the division. Houston number 2 and Rangers number 1. They might have changed by now, but this reminds me of being a Colts fan, and why on earth did you have a roof that opens and only use it one game a season? And even then, everybody hates it because the sun messes with the shadows of the rafters and it just doesn't work. But, you know, there will undoubtedly be a November Sunday where they'll make an announcement that the roof is closed and we all go, yeah, no kidding. It's cold.
Well, I mean, the World Series is the only thing played in November. What are you talking? Oh, were you talking about something else?
I'm talking about Lucas Oil Stadium at the Colts.
I'm sorry. I still had not transitioned from baseball in my mind. When I kicked back in, you were saying November, and I was like, wait a second. That's the World Series is the only way they're playing in November. Which it would still be fine to have the roof open in Dallas at that, or in Arlington at that point. All right, what else do we have? Do we have any others?
Yes, Oklahoma State decided to commemorate something that they became famous for with the shirtless. And let's see, Northern Iowa.
No, wait, but go back. You didn't give that one enough. You can't just say with the shirtless. Like I don't think our audience immediately understands that. Like,
the shirtless statue commemorating. I guess they started that this past.
Yeah, all those kids.
Season.
They had a horrible season, and then a bunch of the fraternity kids or whatever they were, whatever age they were, the guys, and I'm sure some girls went up there, but I think they remained with everything on. But the boys went shirtless and were waving their shirts, and it became kind of a fun thing, and it showed school spirit in all of that. And so to pay homage to that crew, there is the shirtless statue, or at least the April Fool's version of the. That reminds me, one time the OU was, they do statues of coaches and things. And Bob Stoops was still the head coach there, and they were going to put his statue up, kind of like they put that statue up of Gary Patterson outside of. But there were pictures of the statue on a flatbed of just a random truck. It wasn't even like a nice truck. And it was like driving down 35. It was just out there on the open road. You could see. You would think if you have a nice statue, you might have it kind of in a air-conditioned type moving truck, or something that was somewhat nice and contained and keep it away from the elements. With Stoops, they just rode that thing right down 35 from Dallas or wherever they made that thing. So, shirtless. Okay, I like this one. Now, what's next? What's next?
And then the live Panther is going to run out on the field with the Northern Iowa team.
Ooh, I like that.
Now, that would be pretty epic.
U of H basically did this back in the day. The U of H would have the live cougar. You'd be like, oh, man, it was in a cage, wasn't it? Yeah, I think Shasta was in a cage most of the time. But I honestly think there's pictures I've seen of the actual cougar, like with somebody holding it with on a collar, with like on a chain, kind of like the old Baylor Bear used to be out there at games. They'd get the bear out and let it roam around a little bit. But the Cougars used to have, and of course the LSU Tigers used to bring that tiger, and they'd have that thing. They'd have it roaring right outside the visiting locker room. I think my dad one time played at LSU, and you came out of the visiting locker room, and there it was. There it was. Also, back in the day, I think they went to play Iowa, but they're famously Hayden Fry, Kev, had studied like what certain colors did to our brain, like the sight of certain colors. And so he painted the interior of the visiting locker room pink.
Yes.
Because he kind of thought that some reason that would play tricks on the brain and not make them as fired up. Any others?
Well, there is the most epic one here. So for this one, we're going to go full screen on this video right here from BYU.
BYU Sports Nation breaking news.
Okay, AJ DeBonce has apparently posted on his social media. Here's what he said.
All right.
Okay, Coug Nation, let's run it back.
What?
I have unfinished business. Time to work. Sorry, what?
Wow.
AJ DeBonce announces he's coming back for his sophomore season, apparently. We thought this was literally impossible days ago.
I have never been more happy to be wrong about something.
Is this real?
I am stunned.
What? How much are they paying him?
Okay,
the most anyone's ever been paid in college?
BYU is, wow. BYU is going to have to get very creative with the NIL approach here. I mean,
I'm in shock right now.
How do you build a team around AJ and have the financial support to do so?
Can you afford Rob Wright III? Can you afford Nate Pickens, Dawson Baker, other TBD portal guys?
I mean, AJ is back.
Are you serious? I don't know. Why would he do this? He should be in the NBA. He should be the #1 pick. He should be getting that contract.
Look,
making 15 or 16 mil.
We talked about this. Does he not have like that level of defiance to him? Like he loves to surprise
people. You think I'm going to do this?
I'm going to do this.
Was Chelsea in his ear super loud?
Whatever you said, Chelsea.
His mom? Chelsea, the real MVP?
Thank you.
BYU's immediately, I'm in shock. BYU's immediately a national championship contender again. They have to support him. Wow. The donors must have come up huge. What are we talking about? 15 mil if they're going to equal that contract? To me, that's what you'd have to do.
I have no idea, but right now, I don't even care. I don't even care, Frank.
I know we have other stuff planned in the program. We've got to throw it out the window.
This is just
we've got to throw it out the window.
Become the trending topic.
AJ DeBonce announces on his social he is returning to BYU.
All right. Do you want to tell him or should I?
I think you should.
April Fools!
There you go.
Are the LDS or the Mormons allowed to do things like that? I don't know. I mean, are they? Because it was kind of tricky. Come on.
Right.
You can't make things up. You can't mislead people. They were having a good time. That one guy kind of looks like Jay Moore, the comedian. I like seeing people having a nice time, and those guys were having a blast. Have at it, BYU. I mean, that was.
Take a Cougar out on the field with you.
By the way, they said they're going to be a national title contender again. I don't think they were this year, were they? Maybe even before Richie got hurt, right? Maybe
in the middle of the season, sure.
Kev, And we'll get to Campus Confidential here in a second. I didn't want to. Did you? Okay, that's it. Is that it for us?
That's
okay.
it.
Did we know we were going to do 30 minutes on April Fools? I liked it, though. I liked it. And I got places to be today. I got to go check on my loved ones. So I think it's good. I think we got that out of the way. Kev, we may have to duck out a tad bit early today. Mainly because the stupid right outside my window. I mean, they're making me mad. Kev, I did not bring up right after Friday's show, or maybe it happened as we were listening to Scott Drew the other day. They had that scary Tiger Woods had a crash. Fortunately, no one was injured in the crash. Looked like he was going too fast. He clipped somebody, a truck that was slowing down to turn right. He overtook it at a high rate of speed. He flipped his Land Rover. He's going to be okay. But unfortunately, he was arrested on suspicion of DUI. Now they did, Kevin, I know this is out there everywhere, so I'm not going to get too far into this. But the Masters is coming up, and he is arguably the greatest golfer of all time. I say arguably because, of course, Jack Nicklaus is there too. But at least, Kevin, of people of our vintage, this is because Tiger is my age. He's a little bit older than you. But this is what you grew up with, Kevin. It's what I grew up with. I was graduating from college right around the time his career was taking off. He would be probably about a year younger than I am. All right. So it's just rough to see this happening. He blew on the breathalyzer 000. So he was not drunk, but he refused the urinalysis test. And he has been known, and he had that other bad wreck, and he's been pulled over before. And whether it be, and they had 2 hydrocodone pills in his pocket. Now, listen, I've had bad injuries, and I don't know. Generally, I think I have everything in. If I have something in my pocket, it's, prescription bottle that I might have with me in case something comes up. So I don't think of that as like some horrible thing in its own right. Oh, he had a couple of pills in his pocket, but again, probably not a great sign. He's just got loose pills, almost like candy in his pocket. Again, there's 2 of them. All right. So I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh my gosh, 2 hydrocodone pills. All right. But he did put out a statement yesterday and said, I'm committed to taking the time needed to return to a healthier, stronger, and more focused place, both personally and professionally. I appreciate your understanding and support and ask for privacy for my family, loved ones, and myself at this time. I mean, I love Tiger. I've had the opportunity of covering tournaments he's in, asking him questions, being around him right after a round. Some of those early days of him playing the Byron Nelson. Played Colonial one time, and then he didn't play the next year, and everybody got mad at him, and they tried to act like he was afraid to play the Colonial. Okay, I think after all those majors he won, I don't think he was afraid of the Colonial golf course. But I do remember that one columnist in particular called him a fraidy cat for not, somehow for not playing that tournament. Kev, there are already a lot of idiotic takes on this one out there. I won't add to that. I will tell you, I think it was this morning or maybe yesterday, but Mad Dog Russo, his take was, where are his friends? Where are the enablers? Where are they? Why are they? And he's like, his best friend is Justin Thomas. First of all, we don't know that. We know Justin Thomas and a lot of the guys on the PGA Tour grew up worshiping Tiger, and they have become great friends with him. But Justin Thomas, as this thing was happening, was like preparing for whatever, the Masters, the Houston Open, whatever. They were coming off the Players a couple of weeks ago. Like, these guys are in the prime of their their PGA, tour lives. Now, they may love Tiger and they're good friends, but let's not blame them for him making the poor decision to maybe have too many prescription pills running through our bodies. It's a bad decision. Everybody's okay. Tiger's getting help. Our thoughts are with him. His body's so banged up. It's going to we're never really going to see him, obviously, in peak form again. But let's not be idiots and always look for, who to blame. Who to blame? Yeah, Kev, here's the other easy thing to say. And Kev, I'm sure it's crossed both our minds before when these guys get DUIs that are worth, like $1 billion. Get a ride. Have somebody drive you all the time. You can afford it. Kevin, I will also say that there's a lot of people, friends that you and I have, maybe even ourselves at times, that have made the poor decision to get behind a wheel when maybe they shouldn't have. Get in a vehicle and all that kind of stuff. So now there may be some of you out there that have never done that, and more power to you. I do have friends that have never had an ounce of anything. And that's fine. That's great. Good for you. Good for you. But this sort of what we do. I mean, I do think there's some of us that kind of feel bad and like just glad nobody got injured and all that kind of stuff. But this laughing, and now I'm not above a good joke. And once everybody was healthy, I thought there was some funny stuff out there. Once everybody, I thought it was too soon. People were putting out jokes, Kevin, before we knew Tiger was okay. That was too soon. But once we knew everybody was okay, some of the jokes were kind of funny because, like, the Land Rover was over on its side, and there was a fire hydrant there, and they were like, you shouldn't park way too close to the fire hydrant. I mean, there were some funny memes, and there were some pretty good ones out there. So again, I don't want to be like Mosley's telling everybody not to have fun or not be. I'm just saying probably we should wait in these instances to make sure everybody's okay. Because at first we didn't know.
In Tiger's instance, it seems like he has very bad luck when it comes to him in cars. So I think he should always have somebody drive him. I think you're right.
Very bad luck, or there are like hundreds of other times that he could have had a wreck or could have had some bad things.
Maybe he just spends way too much time in the car, and so his odds are stacked against him. I don't know.
I knew a guy who went to jail for 10 DUIs or something, insane like that. Very, very popular sports writer and author, and had to go to prison finally. Went to Mexico to get away from it, but they got him and he had to go to prison. And I always think, Kevin, like, how many times, if you get caught 10 times, how many times have you done it? How many times have you been behind the wheel when you've been overserved? Okay. Probably 10 times that much? 50, a lot. I would say a lot. Not just double that. But it's a fair point, Kev. Once this has happened, first of all, you really hope in rehab and whatever the recovery that he goes through that he does get help, because it's very believable with tons of surgeries that he's had, like 9 knee surgeries, all these back surgeries, all this metal in his body. I mean, it's like these NFL players. How do you get addicted to painkillers? Well, it's almost, how do you not get addicted to them? These people live in pain. So we're supposed to act shocked. Oh my gosh. He was taking how many Vicodin a day? Man, I was fortunate when I had a horrible cycling accident, Kevin, that the not hydrocodone, but there's something cotton, It wasn't Oxycontin. It was like oxycodone, I think. And I mean, it was totally legit. I needed it. I was in horrific pain. I had my C1 and C2 fused. But I couldn't keep anything down. It destroyed my stomach. And at the time, it was awful. I was like, oh, no, I can't believe this. I lost it was a good weight losing plan. I lost like 30 or 40 pounds. But I didn't get addicted to anything like that because I couldn't keep anything down. It didn't work. So I had to go to something different, which was less addictive, I think, probably. Oh, every once in a while, Kevin, I'll look under the sink and I'll be reminded. And I guess you should just in life, after you've had a bad injury or something, you should probably throw everything away, right? But I don't know why. And I don't dabble in it. I mean, I think you probably see these sunglasses and wonder. But yeah, I still have a lot of that stuff, and every once in a while I'll just look and go, oh my gosh, methacarmel, blah, 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 muscle relaxers, the stuff for nerve pain, whatever all that stuff is. It's kind of a reminder. Now, my pain doctors had this unbelievable cream. This was not like the Balco stuff. This was not what Barry Bonds was using, but dang, it was good. They advertised with me on radio at one point, Kev. Wow. It was so good, but it was CBD ointment. And I put that on the back of my neck and it would get in there deeper than just your old, what's that stuff, Kevin, we used to rub on our backs, like the old men would, icy hot type stuff. This was like even more penetrating. It was nice. Okay, Kev, let's make sure we don't have a guest trying to get on with us. All right. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's do some Campus Confidential. Let's do it next.
Okay, that was really great for the first time on your own. Let's maybe take a break and then we'll come back and do some more.
Sounds great.
Oh, you're back. That was a fast break.
I know.
Hi, would either of you be able to assist me?
Yes, she'd love to help.
Oh, yes. I love assists.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor Women's Basketball.
At Schmaltz Sandwich Shop, we don't just make sandwiches, we build them with fresh ingredients, bold flavors, and homemade baked bread every single day. Toasty on the outside, goodness on the inside. Schmaltz Sandwich Shop in Waco is locally owned and operated since 1975 with 2 locations in Waco, Town West off Valley Mills and downtown off 5th Street. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or just a craving, we got the perfect bite waiting for you.
This year, I made a New Year's resolution. I want every business to own a new copier from CTWP. Call me, Leroy the Copier Dog. Let's get you a copier delivered today. CTWP, your local copier company.
Introducing Muck-Off's classic pink bike cleaner, powered by revolutionary nanotechnology that breaks down dirt and grime on a microscopic level while protecting your bike's delicate finish. us.muc-off.com.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels. Visit OpenGOAAALUSA.com and elevate your training today.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Send money abroad in just a few steps with Remitly. Sign up with your email, enter an amount, choose how your loved ones receive the money, enter your recipient's information, select a payment method, hit send, and relax. Download the Remitly app today.
Hi, I'm Mitch, the co-founder of Cake, a sexual health and wellness company designed for today and designed for you. Yes, you. The entire product line can be found at hellocake.com, and it's also available in every Walmart near you.
It is Mosley. Let me show you what everybody my age and older does. They just have their flashlight on. They just always forget to turn their flashlight off. I needed it for a moment there, but I've gotten to the stage of life, Kevin, where people are always saying, "Hey, your flashlight's on." They like see it through my pocket.
You know that'll run your battery way down, right? Okay.
I'm not concerned of things like that. Battery. Did you, by the way, did you send that to Fran, or do I need to send you that?
Well, I sent it.
Good. I just didn't know if I should tell him. So I may shoot him something and go, "Hey, if you want to jump on with us at, whatever." Fran Fraschilla is at the practices of NIT. Okay. I'm going to say we emailed. Okay, cool. He may appear. We emailed you the link if you want to hop on. Why don't we say like 210 or 220 or something? 210 or 220. There we go. I like that, Kevin. Just kind of letting folks in our process.
Yeah,
it's such
absolutely.
a complicated process.
Come on into the production meeting.
Central time. You just when this time of year, you have to, like, we had the thing at the NFL meeting or the owners meetings and all that was going on. Now we do have to remind, if we don't get him, we've got our Jerry stuff. Jerry was talking big time yesterday. And boy, some of the local are mad at the national because the national kind of made it look like Jerry was saying George, he wants to, deal directly with George Pickens, just like he tried to do with Micah Parsons. But the local guys say Jerry was only kidding. Now they would know better because they're around him all the time. But this is being reported differently. Now, the problem is, Kev, the national guy who kind of reported it this way is Mike Garofolo, longtime Mosley guy. The local guys are all great friends of mine. So I don't really want to pick a side here. It could be both are sort of right. It could have been a little bit of a joke, but a little bit Jerry being serious. I've seen that happen before. So it could have kind of gone either way. Kevin, let's do thank you, C&B. I saw that commercial and I smiled every time. The Central National Bank employees, those are not actors. And they're just so good. They're funny. Then that sometimes they'll have to kind of deadpan or just look at the camera like, is this really happening? And they're so good. They're like, to me, they're so authentic. I almost kind of like them better than like paid professional actors. They're very funny. And then, of course, Nikki does a nice job. I hope Nikki goes on to have tremendous success with Baylor. But if she ever wants to try something different, I think she's got some acting in her future. I really do. All right, Kevin, did we say that the other day? Did the women's Final Four have all 4 number 1 seeds? Does that sound right to you?
Yep.
It's just kind of weird.
It could have been half Texas teams, but
if
South Carolina did their thing, so.
Oh, against the Frogs.
Yeah, and Olivia Miles came up. Did you see the calf thing? That was concerning because if it's a calf strain, you know how quickly that can turn into an Achilles just like that.
What she hurt,
I know that person. Olivia Miles.
Yeah. And she kept playing? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, she came off, and they kind of took out the massage gun and worked it out. She came out, but she did not look like herself, and so I was concerned that she would play through, and then all of a sudden.
But that didn't happen. You're not.
It did not happen. It did not happen.
Okay.
But that was my concern in that moment, that she was going to play through it. No.
Mosley had.
Oh, me as an Indiana sports fan, we know how Achilles work for us in this past year. So,
that's a fair point. That's a fair point with Hallie.
And Danny Jones.
Yeah. Danny Jones. I was way in the NBA mode, and so I had to really kind of. I know. You're really moving quickly today. Kev, let's do some Campus Confidential. What do you have for us?
All right. So, this is what with Danny Hurley had to say about the headbutt with the referee. Take a look at this.
Roger Ayers.
Question: the headbutt. The headbutt with Roger Ayers. What's going on there?
It was not. Head hug.
Yeah. There you go. Okay.
I don't know. You ever see reindeer where they kind of like with each other's nose? They kind of.
My dog does that sometimes.
Yeah, they nuzzle
with like the top of his head. Yeah.
More of a nuzzle. An affectionate nuzzle. No, with Roger. See, all these refs are different, right? They all got different thresholds or personalities. Roger's like very playful. I mean, listen, the guy he's one of the greatest refs ever. You know, like the guy don't mess up a lot of calls. You know, when you're going too far, he'll give you a look, and he'll tee your ass, but he's playful. He's funny. He messes with you during the game. You bust his chops back. And it was just so like, I would say that there's a lot of coaches that he refs that you have a much different type of relationship with Roger than you do with pretty much every other official.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, I will say Seth Davis this makes him look good the way Danny's talking about this, because after the game and everybody went crazy about that, he said that this guy's known for being funny, having a real good relationship with the coaches, and he thinks they were kind of goofing. Now, Seth Greenberg reported that he talked to Ayers, and Ayers didn't even really remember it. Like basically blew it off like, I don't even think really anything happened. Now, the problem is then Ayers, one of the better officials in the game, was not one of the officials named to serve in the Final Four. The NCAA has now come out and said it doesn't have anything to do with the nuzzle. What happened?
The head hug.
Here's all I would say. I know Hurley was just sort of beside himself and celebrating. It was a dumb thing to do. It was dumb in the sense that even if they're kind of being funny, what if Roger Ayers has already pissed at Danny Hurley about something? And I mean, because Ayers may be a funny guy, but he can tee somebody up, and I bet he can get mad, right?
And as the Duke radio broadcast said, the players on the court should have been in tech already.
But we've seen it this year. They just don't call that. I mean, those guys should not come out there. I get it, but they don't call that. And I think I'm kind of glad what a horrific way to lose a game from a player running out there like an idiot. I did think that was interesting. Dan Hurley celebrated that differently than most coaches. I said this to you yesterday, Kevin. I'll reiterate this. Haven't you kind of noticed Sean Miller and others are more in? It's kind of like how Signetti was, or Cristobal, a coach was celebrating, and Cristobal, shouted him down. Most head coaches, until it hits zero, are the get back. Shut up, get out of my face. The game's not over. Dan was in heaven. He was celebrating. Now they had time. What did they give him? 0.4 or 0.6?
0.4.
They did have time to throw it down there, and somebody could have maybe caught it and tried to throw something up there, but game was.
I thought it was interesting because you look at the Dan Hurley cam, right? The angle it's on him the whole time. He's coaching until they make the steal, and then he just kind of sits back and just watches it all happen because I think he was stunned that they had the ball. I think, what else are you going to coach in that moment? And he just let it happen. So he went from intense to just watching it happen. And then
what did he do when Braylon, when it went through the hoop? Did he throw his hands up?
When
or
he
whatever?
went through the hoop, he started celebrating. But it was funny because you kind of have this dip in emotion where once they had the ball, he was just kind of like, let's see what happens here. And you could see him watch the ball go in, and then he
because they're
on.
preparing to be nice or be, even him to be cool to the other coach if they lose. So they're trying to almost in that moment prepare for whatever emotion is to follow. Now, Signetti would not have reacted if it had gone through. If he was a basketball coach, there are other coaches that wouldn't have either. I think Coach K, it'd been funny. I don't think he would have jumped or done anything too crazy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who are really good at reactions. I do think Scott Drew, because when Baylor has a good moment, another team has to call a timeout or something's going on, Scott will punch the air sometimes. Scott actually will Scott knows how to fire up the crowd. Now, Danny Hurley is like that too. They're not alike in a lot of areas. They're alike in a few areas. I think honestly they're both super competitive. It just manifests itself in different ways.
Yeah.
Like Dan is just very profane and over the top. So is his family. So is his mom. His mom seems like a nice woman. She just got caught up in the moment. Kevin, we've all been at games. And fortunately, I am in control of myself, certainly in the press box. But when I'm a fan at a game, I will kind of say things where people can't hear me. And I'll be honest with you, I think every once in a while I'll say things I wouldn't say in normal Mosley. I'm either mad at the other team or the other coach, and I don't scream it where somebody's going to be like, oh my gosh, Mosley's dropping rough, bad words. But I find myself kind of in that mindset. So I kind of know where she was in that moment. I'm not saying I've said that before, but I think fandom takes you to a crazy place sometimes. Like if you were at a Pacers game or at a Colts game and something insane happened, I think there might be something, and maybe your family doesn't hear you say it, but comes out of you that wouldn't be normal. You know what I'm saying?
There was the extra element of this was her child coaching this team, and so
correct.
Our kids always know their clips and their sports clips because of what mom said on the video while she's taking the video, because mom is very vocal in how she celebrates, and so my kids will always go, oh yeah, I remember that play. That's the one where mom went, wah, or whatever. Yeah. That's how they remember it. A lot of times I'm coaching my kids because that actually keeps me under reps because I have to be a little more professional, I guess.
There you go. Yeah. When I look at you, I just think professional. That's the first thing that comes to mind. All right. What else do you have for me?
All right, so Ryan Day was asked what he would change in college football, and his answer kind of surprised me, so I wanted to get your take on it.
Wand, change anything about college football, what are you going with?
Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, well, I mean the first thing is wave a wand is creating a structure that you can enforce rules. and creating that. And that's not just like easy. I understand. It's not too far-fetched for me to think that there's a way that you could actually have a draft and build it like the NFL. I know that seems a little bit out there, but we're going to need a lot of help to get there. I can tell you that right now. That's not happening overnight. I think that there's, once we started going down this road of NIL, we have to kind of go one of two ways, in my opinion. We almost have to go back to where we were before, or we need to go all the way towards the NFL. I think right now we're sort of in purgatory, and I think until we start to make some hard decisions and create that overall structure, we're still going to be in this phase. But that to me is the number one thing. We've got to figure out an enforcement system that can start enforcing rules. I have a lot of ideas on it, probably not for this conversation, but that would be the number one thing. I think most college coaches would say the same thing.
Yeah, I think the draft is something that comes up every once in a while. It'd be really hard. I guess you'd have to have a pool of teams, or maybe you do it by geography or something like that. But you think that could be something that could be feasible within our lifetimes?
Yeah, somebody was explaining to me the other day, like they do it up in Canada for like the juniors. And things like that. Like, if you want to become part of it, then you put your name in, and there's a lot that comes with that. I know it's kind of out there idea, but I think it's sort of like that. Or going back to the way we were with amateurism. I'm having a hard time figuring out, how we work through this right now with this NIL, because recruiting is always going to be part of the college process until we change it. Mm-hmm. And because that's not going to ever change, we have to create some sort of enforcement arm. Otherwise, we're always going to be in this space when we're putting together rosters.
Okay. Find it fascinating. I don't, it feels kind of far-fetched to imagine any form of a draft. I mean, it would make for high entertainment. Think about in college football, how we've even embraced in basketball, the portal, the excitement over players coming and going and monitoring all of that, fans, recruiting over the years, that's been covered. I don't, and Kev, you may have, he hinted at the hockey aspect of this. If I had to guess, the Big Ten and SEC would basically try to obviously steer this draft toward them having the pick of the litter. And I don't think they would love, the ACC and the Big 12 going, okay, well, we've historically, at least recently, been stronger than those, although, hey, don't forget about Miami out of the ACC. But they should get the first picks of some of these 5 stars. Now, the problem, too, is it's always been part of this freedom of movement. It's always been, so would you still have the freedom of movement that the portal has, or would you still have regular high school recruiting like it already is, but the draft, it would almost be like an expansion draft, like they used to have in the NFL. Oh, we've got a new team. So the NFL can only protect this many players on its roster. The rest of the players are in the draft. Okay. And then everybody has a draft and they put their rosters together. It doesn't feel feasible, but I do find it to be a fascinating idea. I like that. And I also like Ryan Day and these others, Signetti now, they're part of the power structure and they have the most money. University of Texas, A&M's up there. So they could sit back and go, you know what? We're doing pretty well. I know this seems weird, but we're benefiting from this. So why do I need to be in a hurry to fix anything, right? I do like that they're at least trying to explore and alter what has become just kind of just the Wild West. Now, the counter to that, Kev, is the fact that March Madness, for instance. Oh, are the ratings down because these players keep going to different teams? No. I think they just had some of the best ratings they've ever had. Where are fewer people going to the games? Maybe. I don't know. No, I know, and that may be something different. That may be more of an economic times, that kind of thing, more than fans going. I mean, even this year, as bad as Baylor was compared to usual, their usual. By the way, one of my buddies from that works within Baylor got on to me because I was talking about this past season, Kev, and I said something along the lines of, "This was unprecedented," and he was like, "No. You need to choose your words." I'm like, okay. Because Baylor, obviously, if you go back to 2003 and other times, they've been in worse shape than they were this past season. It just feels like it's been a long, long time. Kev, what else do you have for me? This has been a very good episode, and to me, that Ryan Day thing, that's fascinating.
I think that Ryan Day's explanation of this being an A or B situation speaks a lot more about Ryan Day than it does about the system. I think there are so many more intricacies, and obviously, like, he should have a better grasp of this than I do. But there's not just, I don't think there should be a draft or we just go back to the way it was. I think there are a lot more options in between those two options, but it speaks a lot to Ryan Day. He either beats Michigan and doesn't have a shot in the playoffs, or he has a shot in the playoffs and he'll lose to Michigan. That's kind of Ryan Day's kind of thing. He A or B. So, Will Wade had this to say in his opening reintroduction, I guess. So take a look at this, and I want to get
the new coach at LSU.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Make no mistake, this is home. I wasn't born in Louisiana, but Louisiana's home for me, and me and my family. And so, we're coming back to make history. We're going to make history one way or the other. We're coming back, like Dr. Roos said, to try to hang a banner, win a national championship, or I'm going to be the first coach fired from the same school twice. But one way or another, we're going to make history.
So, will he make history? That's the question.
Well, okay, here, I do think, like most coaches, I don't think he's the kind of guy that has the staying power. I mean, he's so slimy that even at LSU, I think a good run for him would be 10 years. Okay, and that would take him till he's probably like, I don't know, how old is he? 42, 43? 10 years would be a great run. If he makes it 10 years, I'd be surprised. In that 10 years, let's say he does make it 10 years. I think he's capable of going to the tournament like 6 or 7 out of the 10, which is not bad. I mean, compared to where they've been, they'll be so much better, so quick, because he's going to have way more NIL money than that guy had. He's already bringing in all these coaches. Did you see who his staff is? It's like Rick Stansberry, who had a really good run at Mississippi State back in the day. I think took them to the Final Four with Baylor. He had a former Baylor player on that team. In fact, I think that was coming off the Baylor scandal back in the day from 2000. That's Lawrence Roberts was on that Mississippi State team. And then another, really well-known, Johnny Jones, who used to be the head coach at LSU. So who says you can't go back home? He's bringing all these people back, and they will recruit like crazy. I would say they would cheat like crazy, but what is cheating? Think about it's kind of hard to cheat.
NIL, now it's legal.
There's no policing of that CSC or whatever it's called. They have it. It's not like they've done a great job. LSU can funnel as much money into there as they want. There's no guardrails. Baylor's biggest issue, and maybe you have to admire them for it, but I think Baylor thought that the CSC and some of these other things some of these guardrails would maybe bring some parity to the game. So Baylor was wrong to think that. And then before that, they did a horrible NIL rollout. Now, again, it's different people's fault. I'm not going to say, oh, it's this administrator. Oh, it's Mac's fault. It's this person's fault. I'm not doing that. But they didn't know. They didn't know how to. Okay. So it's Baylor's fault for a horrible NIL rollout. And, Dave Aranda has said he wasn't comfortable with it, didn't like the portal, didn't like the NIL, didn't like the transactional aspect of it. And he didn't do a great job with it. He's admitted it. But you know what, Dave, that's one of the reasons, Dave, let me tell you, Kev, we could all learn. You know how, Kev, when something goes wrong on our job or in our lives, sometimes our first instinct is to look around and go, this person should have done something, or this person should have done something, or whatever. The thing I'll say about Aranda is, and I'm not, he's always blaming himself, and that's helped him, because when everybody could have pointed at Mac for a horrible NIL rollout and all that stuff, Dave said, it's my fault. Transfer portal, Baylor's bad at it. Dave said, my fault. Now, how do you stay at a place even when you're not doing that great? You just take bullets for other people. Dave Aranda is good at doing that. Now, I think Mac was finally getting ready to make a change. I think we know that was going to happen. And Dave Aranda was saved by Mac getting involved in some off-the-field behavior. All right? Won't get too far into it, more into it than that. But what is he going to do with it? Now they got DJ Lagway. They got receivers that I'm kind of excited about. They got some D linemen I like. I think this team is either going to be 3-9 or 9-3. I really don't see the middle ground. I think 9-3 is probably the ceiling. And I think 3-9 is the floor. And I don't see it. I don't see that middle ground. Like, well, Mosley, what happens if they go 7-5? And I will tell you, I don't see it. I don't see it. I think either Lagway hits. And Kevin, we got to save some of these segments, right? But there's a segment to be had in the coming days where I tell you what has to happen for the 9-3 or 10-2. And I think I know, boom, boom, boom. I'm not going to say run the football, get some takeaways. I'm going to have a deeper look than that. I don't know why I went to that voice. That's probably more how I talk than anything. All right, Kev, what else do we have?
That's it for campus today.
Kev, that was really,
all right.
You outdid yourself. Oh, wait, let's see. Let's make sure.
I do have more, but I'm going to save it because it's not a timely thing. I can dish this out whenever. So,
boy, Fran just decided he got out there to practice. And he decided, hold on here.
Is he shooting around himself?
Fran's out there taking shots.
He's doing his best Braylon impression out there from 35.
I am glad to hear from Gary Patterson, the defensive coordinator at USC, and he gave me a wonderful, treatise on why he's been hard to get hold of. What if I just responded, Kevin, just said, hey, I don't need your excuses. Circle K. I'm part of the Circle K family here, Kev. They've texted me. It said if I fuel up with them 2 times by May 5th to earn 20 cents off a gallon. 20 cents off a gallon. But I don't love the fact that I've got to fill up twice on the high 389. Don't make me fill up with the monster prices. Oh, Kevin, just a public service announcement. All right. By the way, thank you. Is today Thursday or Wednesday? Oh, Wednesday. Tomorrow we'll do Schmaltz's. When you get toward Italy on 35, you're coming from Waco.
Yeah.
And you get past.
I thought for a second we were talking about Venice, but okay, Italy, no. Texas, got it.
Italy, we call it.
Okay.
Okay, so before you get to Italy and you're going north toward Dallas.
Okay.
There's something called like the Ranger Station, it's not Buc-ee's or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
It's like Ranger Rick's or something.
Yeah.
And you.
With the Mustang it's SMU looking logo.
It's between Hillsboro and Italy.
Yep.
If you'll look over to your right, I swear lately, it's been 40 or 50 cents less per gallon than what you get in Dallas or Waco. And it's just one. And they also had it cheap. Cheap is, for bombing the Iranians cheap, right? Italy, right there in that whatever that is, they had some pretty good gas right there. But I just want to tell our people, don't get it in Waco or Dallas. Get it right there between Hillsboro and Italy, over on your right, and it's kind of an off-brand thing. It's like Ranger or something. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but then I'll get off and go over there. And recently they had it for like $2.19. I'm like, whoa. Because everybody else is like crazy high.
Right.
I have $2.19 was probably before we started bombing the Iranians.
I have the Gas Buddy app, so I'll just look up gas prices around and find the good ones. So.
Now let me also tell you about. I hate to say this because Circle K may want to sponsor us. The only thing that bugs me, and every once in a while they'll do this to you. These other places, they will take. Let's say you use your debit card. All right, Kev, you got your good bank debit card or whatever. And, hey, I'm going to use my debit card because I don't want to put it on the credit card. I'll kind of use my debit card. And I like to use that because then it doesn't run up the credit card and all that. Kevin, I've seen this happen several times lately.
What's that?
Circle K will put the $100 hold. and it doesn't come like you're like, well, okay, that's fine. If they just need to test, test to see what's on there. That sucker they'll have that $100 that you don't have. Let's say, Kevin, you were down to $200 or $300 in your account.
Yep.
All right. We've all been there. And it'll just, for about 24 hours, it'll just grab $100 from you. You're like, whoa. All right, Kev. Okay. A little Mosley. Did I not put enough?
We're doing all kinds of behind the scenes today.
I don't think I put enough product in. I feel like I'm the Seinfeld.
You did get it cut, and so it's going to be an adjustment. Oh yeah, right away. I was like, oh,
yeah, I got a haircut.
You can never tell how when I get a haircut.
Absolutely not, because you are a hippie. There was a joke that Norm McDonald would make. Norm McDonald. And it was a yippee. Anyway, I'll tell it to you at some point. It's a very good joke. Let's go to the NFL owners meetings and let's hear from Jerry Jones, and let's do it next.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
This year, I made a New Year's resolution. I want every business to own a new copier from CTWP. Call me, Leroy the Copier Dog. Let's get you a copier delivered today. CTWP, your local copier company.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
At Schmaltz Sandwich Shop, we don't just make sandwiches, we build them with fresh ingredients, bold flavors, and homemade baked bread every single day. Toasty on the outside, goodness on the inside. Schmaltz Sandwich Shop in Waco is locally owned and operated since 1975 with 2 locations in Waco, Town West off Valley Mills and downtown off 5th Street. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or just a craving, we got the perfect bite waiting for you.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's internxt.com today.
Welcome to Market XLS, your all-in-one Excel solution for investors. Designed as an enterprise-grade platform, Market XLS caters to investment managers, secure and efficient investment management and research. Book your free demo.
Experience with the Mosley MD hair regrowth kit was amazing. It was easy to use. It let me take off my hat. I could go in public and have my picture taken and feel normal again.
MosleymD.com.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
Unlock a world of convenience with Mullybox, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. Mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today. Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at gevi.com to discover more.
It is the Matt Mosley Show. We are back. We've had a strong effort so far today, and so we will keep this thing rolling, or we'll try to. Kev, I gotta say, I was watching some baseball last night. I was hanging out with my grandmother and up in Carrollton, Texas. I was watching the Yankees and the Mariners play after the Rangers got a big win. And I will say the ABS strike thing adds an interesting element. I think I need to point that out. I think it does add kind of a fun element to the whole process. And you see like Jazz Chisholm up there at the plate, and I mean ball, and it's kind of exciting when you're at Seattle, and then he challenges it, and then they overrule it. It's a 3-2 count. They say they ring him up, and he challenges the call, and then they confirm the strike call on the field, and then the home crowd went crazy. It kind of brings a whole new element. So I just kind of wanted to bring that up. I wanted to I just thought that was interesting. Kevin, I did want to say real quick, and I know you've been running the commercials already. And it starts today. We're going to start talking about them. CTWP, new sponsor. Whoa, man, this is pretty cool. Got these new, in fact, I think we've got a new copier in our offices, thanks to CTWP. And I was just reading about them. 7 locations in Central Texas. Purchase, you can get leases available. Dealer for 7 different vendors, Xerox, Canon, all the big ones, Konica, Minolta. You know those, Kev. You've made copies in your life. Whoa. I mean, these are all the big ones. In business for over 45 years. So you just contact David Willie is a good point of contact. That's ctwp.com. You can check them out at ctwp.com. And that's a good place to go to learn more about it and look at them find CTWP on Facebook, Instagram, and then the website, ctwp.com. All right, Kevin. Kevin, would you like to welcome them? Give them a nice welcome. CTWP. All right. Kind of a silent clap.
I didn't want to clap hugely in front of the mic and blow people's eardrums
golf
out.
Clap. It was a golf clap.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to out loudness the copier. So
the host, the show host. By the way, one other note before we get to Jerry. Okay, Cowboys fans, if you're out there, and I'm going to react to what Jerry had to say. I'm going to kind of tell you what Jerry means, where I think he's going with this, where I think this Pickens thing is headed. How much is Pickens willing to hold out on the franchise tag? The answer is no. But one last little point here. Luka scored 42 points with 12 assists yesterday to beat the Cavs. Reddick said, I think Luka has had as good a month as anybody that I can remember in the modern NBA, at least since I've been a part of it. Third straight 40-point game, lifting his March scoring total to 600 points. That's in March, joining Michael Jordan in 87 as the only players to reach that mark in March, and one of the only 10 players to score 600 points in any month. Lakers finished 15-2 for the month. Whoa. Okay. Kevin, I hate to tell you, in all his time with the Mavs, Anthony Davis did not have 600 points, did not reach that plateau. How many months was he with the program? I mean, it was a pretty good while. All right, Kevin, Kevin, we'll do this for Kevin. We are live on the Mosley Show. All right, none of this is taped. Podcast and all that's great. Taping is great. I do it all the time. But the only time I'm going to tape the Mosley Show is maybe tomorrow because I have tickets to the Rangers game. But Kev, this just in, and Kevin has passed this along to me. Fernando Mendoza.
You like to give sources. That's Anthony Calhoun, legendary sports caster for Wish TV Channel 8 CBS station in Indianapolis.
Wish TV, that's an interesting one.
WISH.
Syracuse alum. By the way, Indiana Fever. Okay, now you're going forward with the cap.
Yeah.
Apparently big
You were talking about expansion draft. The WNBA expansion draft happens on Friday.
All the Barstool people are going to be in downtown Indianapolis at this bar that you won't know because it's a brand new bar.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, would I want to go by there? And I thought, then I answered my own question. The answer is no. It says Fernando Mendoza. When did he post this? Earlier today? Okay, yeah.
The pro day going on.
About an hour ago, let's call it, by my clock. He's making all the throws, and as of right now, he hasn't, in all caps, missed one throw here at Pro Day. Oh, my gosh. Mendoza's good against air. Who would have ever thought it? The Heisman Trophy winner having himself a day. Well, how about when he won the freaking national title? That's when he had himself a day. Nobody cares what he's doing out here. Who's he throwing to, by the way? Who are these kids?
EJ Williams, Elijah Surratt, Omar Cooper, all the hits.
Was Omar out there?
Yep, Omar. I was seeing Omar caught.
Who's got kind of the dreads?
That's
He threw
Omar.
the deep ball. Is it Omar?
Number 3.
And
Or
who's
number
got the shorter hair? Is that Surratt with kind of a fade?
Yep. And then Williams is number 7. He was a deep ball that was thrown. But D'Angelo Pons was clocked at 4.27.
That's
in his 40.
I'm not. I wish we had the official clock. That's a handheld. That's a handheld time. The stopwatch had Indiana colors on it. All right. Here's a tweet, by the way. Here's the first comment after they showed Fernando Mendoza. Like, I just went down to see what the replies, and somebody said, Dan Orlovsky hates this. Oh, no. And then somebody said, Mitch Trubisky looked like a god at his pro day, too. Oh, my gosh. Fernando Mendoza is not leaving any doubt about his draft stock today. All right. So what do you say? Somebody says, not saying he wouldn't be great, but come on. He is killing his scripted pro day indoors. Okay.
Yeah.
I will say, on the short intermediate throws, and I'm approaching age 50. Kev may have arrived there, actually.
Not yet.
I honestly think if you gave me a chance to warm up, there's some pretty good throws I would make. Like I would say if you drop me into Baylor's pro day next to Sawyer, obviously when Sawyer starts throwing those beautifully timed up fades and stuff like that, or the deep ball, again, our body shapes would look very, very different, all that kind of stuff. But on those quick hitters across the middle, I think I could go out there and rip. I think with the proper time to warm up, I think I could rip some of those. Now,
then you'd probably need that lotion on your shoulder after you're finished, right?
I would, especially if I could use the old, what I used to when we were kids. Kev, this is before you were a kid. We had a little football called the Duke. It was called the Duke, and it was a smaller. And sadly, I got Kenny Pickett hands. I don't have the enormous quarterback hands.
Yeah, but
with the Nerf and the Duke, the arm strength was there back in the day. But it couldn't, you had to have, there were other things you needed to play quarterback at the high school level. I didn't have those. I did play basketball and tennis, okay? But I'm not going to be like Skip Bayless and brag about it because somebody may actually like go back and look at the scorebooks or something, And I would be in there, and I scored. But I would not be like hugely impressive numbers. I will say.
Not an eye-popping stat line, huh?
No. I think in Will's Point one time, feel like I had a pretty good showing on a road game. Although I did get a couple of violations in that game for stepping on the line, free throw line. I remember like, who calls this? and I was making them too. It was very upsetting. Kev, let's do a little Cowboys. And I looked at those rules, Kevin. In the coming days, we'll talk a little more about them. I would say some of it's going to be on the kickoff. They're going to change. You can kind of, as long as you declare it, you can do an onside kick any time of the game. They're going to change a little bit of the alignment for the receiving team, I think, or maybe it's the kicking team. And then there's one other. There's doing something on kicks from the 50 where you can't, it de-incentivizes being able to kick the ball out of. Where's my sneeze button, Kev? You can't just kick the ball out of bounds. Okay, they're addressing some of these issues, but it's not anything. And the only thing that I think people would find interesting, they are going to have kind of a 1 year of going back to where I think you can challenge. You can go up to the booth to challenge a pass interference. Okay, that's kind of an interesting. The rest of them were kind of like, I don't really care that much. All right, Kev, here's what I want to do though. Jerry spoke yesterday, And it was not the exclusive Jerry. Like, come on to the luxury bus, all the local riders, let's gather around, and Uncle Jerry will talk and talk and talk. He came out, had the NFL, the major NFL national riders and everybody huddled around him, and Jerry had a visit with everybody. And so, Kevin, thankfully, people like Nick Harris and John Machota, Calvin Watkins, and all our buddies out there, Todd Archer, they would film all this. And so that we can watch Jerry and react to him. Kevin, let's kind of go a little bit close to the order you and I were talking about earlier. So let's start with the Jerry on how the defense is coming together.
Defense significantly. Going in, I thought that if we can pick that up, sustain the level that we played at on offense last year, always looking to improve specifically with the depth of our roster, special teams, the fact that we have no reason to think we can't be as good as we were last year on special teams. With all of that in mind, then when you are almost dead last, you can anticipate some improvement, and got pretty good odds you'll get some. So,
Okay, no, that should make everybody feel good. We were so bad that the only way we can go is go up, right? We were so bad in some of our coverage and some of our special teams and even some of the return game, which there were some mistakes made in that area as well. So that's not the most heartening, exciting thing to hear from Jerry. Now, people will want to, let's skip the kicker. Kevin, I'm all kickered out. I got to say, Aubrey, for now, Jerry seems to want Aubrey just to sign the second year or the second round tender and see if they can work it out. I would like them to work it out. I don't see a scenario where Brandon Aubrey is not on the Dallas Cowboys. So let's not concern ourselves with kicking talk. I just feel like I've had enough of that this offseason. And I know Kevin hasn't, because Kevin loves it, and Kevin wanted Seattle's kicker to be the MVP. Kevin, let's hear what Jerry had to say, though, because this was interesting. This was Jerry talking about what the Cowboys have tried to do at linebacker.
The draft with the current linebacker room you have?
No, we're looking to improve there personnel-wise, and are continuing to do so right now before the draft, as well as the potential in the draft. So we want to get better there with personnel. We've been trying very much to make some trades. They haven't worked out for us there, but that won't deter us from getting better there.
Do you anticipate the trade market being the most likely scenario for linebacker?
Do that again.
Do you anticipate the trade market being the most likely scenario to address linebacker?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to anticipate here.
Would you be comfortable with a rookie at your green dot middle linebacker if you didn't get it in the trade market?
Yes. Yes. I think yes.
Okay. Now, this time of year, if you ask a yes or no question, you're going to get a yes or no answer. And Jerry would have, if he had said it, asked it a different way, would you be comfortable making a trade? Yes. Would you be comfortable with a rookie wearing the green dot? Yes. So yes to everything. All right. So keep all options open. There's a lot of misleading stuff that'll happen right now. I guess you have to appreciate the honesty of we haven't been able to get it done. I thought Schottenheimer was pretty honest about this the other day. I mean, N'Kobe Dean and Quay, who's the kid? Quay, what's Quay's last name? Kev, that was both those guys used to play.
Walker.
Quay Walker. Yeah. Kevin, sometimes I just need to call upon you and then it'll pop into my head. Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean, I think played together at Georgia. They must have wanted to play together again. They went to the Raiders. But, I mean, if you really desperately need a linebacker, which they do, and you wanted one of those guys, there's like 3 people they wanted. I mean, there's a way to land it. There's a way to land it. You either pay both of them, like the Raiders did, or you pay one of them a little bit more than the Raiders. Let's not act like, oh my gosh, we're going to take a lot less to go play together with the Raiders. That doesn't ring true to me. I think these young men are a little more logical than that. So the Cowboys, Jerry had basically admitted to, well, we're just out here whiffing on linebacker right now. That's concerning. Can they go find a linebacker? They still could, but golly, look at who they're throwing out. Shamar James will be a second-year linebacker that kind of was pretty rough around the edges last year as a rookie. Obviously, in this defense, you'll have the weak side linebacker. I mean, it's like they want these inside backers to be somewhat interchangeable. Remember, Overshawn will hopefully be back and he'll be healthy, but that's always the big question for him. Agent Zero, can he be healthy and all of that? They're trying to bring people in. They've signed people, but they're not. These are not. They have done nothing at linebacker or really at DB to blow anybody away. Or really even at edge. I mean, Rashawn Gary is fine. He's fine. There was something interesting my buddy Clarence Hill said today. Like, he was talking about how they didn't go after Clowney. Clowney had 9.5 sacks last year. And kind of like, you're not going to find 9.5 sacks in the first round of this draft. Well, okay. They're picking 12th and 20th. Kev, guess who they picked 12th in 2021? Guy by the name of Micah Parsons. Well, how many sacks did Micah have as a rookie? Oh, I think it was about 13 sacks. Huh. So I don't know why you would just automatically dismiss the ability to find someone, an edge rusher, that could have somewhere from 9 to 12 sacks in this draft, whether it's Messidor, whether it's Reuben Bain slipping down there. It happens. Kev, I mean, look back. Oh, you got to look at Myles Garrett. I know I'm saying some of the greatest, right? But I think even just not. I'm not even talking about the all pros. I think we could find
not at 12 in this draft
of rookies. Oh,
you only have one quarterback that's guaranteed to go before that, and so you're not the good pass rushers, the Sonny Styles, the David Bailey, the Arvell Reese, they're going to be long gone by 12.
We shall see. We shall see. Stranger things have happened. I mean, will Bain, because of his short arms, fall a little bit? Even if you wait till 20 and you somehow get Messidor down there. I mean, those guys I just mentioned had as good a numbers as the guy you mentioned. Well, all you're going on is what the mock drafters have said and where they're showing up on mock drafts. Those 2 guys from Miami that could go anywhere 12, 20. Some of those other edge rushers, they've got their numbers were just as good as the guys at Texas Tech, as the guy at Ohio State. I mean, Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese some of those guys were playing off the ball. And in some ways are going to have to be coming at it from a different angle. They're going to have to play right there at the line of scrimmage way more. Boy, I love Jerry, by the way. One of these quotes, and I don't think I got this one. He was talking about, the edge rusher that can drop back and cover. Oh, to have that, even when they had that, like DeMarcus Ware. You don't want your Micah Parsons and the Wares of the world. If you're up there in a 3-4, you don't want those guys racing back there trying to cover. I don't know why we get so enamored with weird things. If you're going to be in a 3-4 and you're going to have these edge rushers, you're going to have these outside linebackers, you're not drafting them based on, I think they can cover the tight end. I think they might be able to cover a slot receiver. Come on, wake up, people. Pickens, George Pickens. Let's hear what Jerry had to say about Pickens yesterday.
I don't have a thought about expecting him or not. Don't know that one way or the other. I know he's working out, throwing with our quarterback, and so all of that's going good. I don't have anything out of the ordinary to comment about regarding him, franchise tag. All of that is normal to me.
Has there been any negotiations at all, or beyond the franchise tag?
I think your would refer to contact with agent, and we haven't.
Do you anticipate
haven't been. I mean, we have contact with the agent, but we haven't been.
Do you anticipate trying to get something done before the July 15th deadline?
I don't know. The franchise tag has an automatic time frame on it, and all of us will, and it's my plan and our thought that we'll all be working within the time frame of the conditions of the franchise tag. So it should play itself out, is the best way for me to say it. Make no mistake about it, we have long-term plans in mind for Pickens.
Okay. And he also went on, and this is where there was some sort of disagreement. He had a quote about how he likes to work directly with the player, and the player could save a bunch of money by going without an agent. And he said, with me. And boy, people have taken off on that again, because that is what kind of led to the falling out and dispute that he had with Micah Parsons. And you'd say, Jerry, why do you even have to joke about that if it's a joke? Now, some people have reported it as if it was like a real story. Our local people that cover the Cowboys basically said, no, it was a joke. He was joking about it.
What I spotted is he forgot Dak's name. He just said our quarterback.
Yeah, but that's just, I'm telling you, he's been doing that for 20 years. Nah, that's not, with him, that's nothing. That's nothing. How will we ever know if he's slipping? Because he's sounded like this ever since I've known him. So I don't think there's any. I mean, I'm not saying the cognitive is like brilliant to start with, but whereas with Biden and others, we've gone, oh my gosh, the cognitive decline. Jerry's going to be like this for another 10 years, I promise. And so I'm not saying he doesn't say foolish things and say confusing things, but I attribute that to him being Jerry Jones. I do not attribute that to cognitive decline. I promise you that. Let's look at what he said, and then we'll do some the landing, Kev. But let's see what he said about like this offseason so far, like how it's gone for the Cowboys.
And we've been aggressive, and we have, relatively speaking, we've stepped up the financial requirements for what we have done. We may have exceeded, busted, whatever you want to call it, but we got some more. and so we're not through.
You got some more to do.
Jerry,
You're saying we had some more budget. We got some more money. Clarence was kind of confirming, oh, you got some more to do. And he's like, well, yeah. But they have not busted the budget. They really haven't exceeded anything. If you think about it, what they did is they got rid of some money with Osa Digizua, who would have been owed over $20 million next season. They were able to move that off the books. I think there'll be some, obviously, dead money or whatever, but they were able to do that, and that's going to free up some more room against the cap. This is an interesting time because what he believes is aggressive has not led to any earth-shattering moves. I don't think, what is the most exciting impact player the Cowboys have added? Well, I guess it's Rashawn Gary from Green Bay. He's not a bad player, and he was headed toward a great season this year. And then he went 9 or 10 games without a sack. Well, was he hurt? Did he just, did Micah get hurt and that put more emphasis on stopping him? What happened? I don't know. Still don't totally have answers to that. But Jalen Thompson, some of the other PJ Locke, some of the other deals they've made. I'm not saying the Raiders have totally changed its franchise and they're going to be good, because they still have major issues and they're going to have a rookie quarterback. And no matter how much we all love Fernando, that's a lot to ask for him to step in and be great immediately. Even the great Knicks and the great Drake May, they weren't brilliant immediately. Okay, it took a little while. How long did it take Sam Darnold to become great, or to at least lead a team to greatness? 5, 6 seasons. Was it his 6th year, maybe 7th year? Pretty good amount of time. Didn't work out at 3 different places. I'd say the Vikings, it did, and they just they made a calculated decision to go with J.J. McCarthy. And so far, that has turned out to be not a great decision. So they've had to go out and bring in others. Kev, it is the Brazos Landing. It's where we land on a daily basis. And sometimes, Kevin, you and I will talk. Hey, we need to get out a little early today for different reasons, personal reasons. And we just don't do it. We don't do it. We like to give our loyal listeners the full complement, the full 2-hour experience here on the Mosley Show. So we had a lot to get to. We had a lot of Jerry, had a tremendous Campus Confidential session. And then we hit some April Fool's Day stuff to start. That was kind of fun. Catch us every day, 1 to 3. And if you're watching us on Twitter today, and I apologize, I did not put out my usual tease. But if you catch us on Twitter, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. We would enjoy having you. Been a good one. Thank you, Kevin. Tremendous work today. Hope you have a great rest of the day. We will see everybody tomorrow at 1 o'clock, opening day for the Rangers. All right, see you later, everybody.
Central National Bank, this is Nikki. How may I help you?
Yes, can you please transfer me to the loan department?
You want to transfer?
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, you can't transfer right now.
What?
Have a good day. Yes, how may I help you?
Hi, I would like to transfer money from my C&B account to another bank.
Absolutely not. No. Have a great day.
website and I'm trying to find the link for your payment portal.
The portal is currently unavailable. Have a great day.
We've received a few complaints.
Correct. We no longer allow any outgoing transfers, only incoming.
But the good news is, no money is leaving the bank. Like, none.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor Women's Basketball.